I knew something was wrong the moment I heard the front door slam. Not the kind of slam that says I'm mad, but the kind that says I'm done. I was still standing at the stove, holding a wooden spoon, pretending to stir the sauce I didn't even want to eat. My heart sank. I didn't turn around. I didn't have to. "Don't follow me," he said, his voice sharp but calm. That calm scared me more than yelling ever could. This wasn't about the fight we just had. It was about the slow erosion I'd ignored, the quiet breaking apart we both saw coming but refused to stop. I wanted to scream, to chase after him, to beg him to stay. But instead, I stood there. Frozen. Silent. Cowardly. Because the truth is, I broke him long before he ever thought about leaving me. And now, I'm about to tell you the real reason I lost everything. Before I tell you what happened next, make sure you're watching this alone. Because this story? It's not just about love. It's about control, regret, and the kind of truth that stings when no one else is around to hear it. I didn't fall in love with Ryan because he swept me off my feet. He wasn't the guy who brought flowers or wrote love songs. He was quiet. Steady. Predictable. And at first, that felt like safety. We met through mutual friends at a birthday dinner, one of those long tables at a rooftop bar where you have to lean in just to hear what someone's saying. He sat across from me, barely spoke, and offered me the last garlic not like it was some kind of peace treaty. I remember thinking, okay. He's polite. Maybe even sweet. But he didn't make my stomach flip. Still, when he asked for my number, I gave it to him. Because after a string of impulsive disasters, I was trying something new, stability. Our first date was fine. Second, better. And by the fourth, we were kind of a thing. Ryan never rushed me. Never pressed. He followed my lead. And maybe that was the problem from the start. I was always leading. Always steering. Always testing his willingness to follow. A year in, we moved in together. I didn't even remember agreeing to it, it just kind of happened. His lease was ending. Mine was month to month. He suggested it over dinner, and I said, sure, I guess it makes sense. It wasn't passion. It was logistics. And yet, every morning, he'd make me coffee exactly the way I liked it, oat milk, cinnamon, 2 sugars. He'd wake up early just to warm up my car in the winter. Thoughtful, right? But deep down, I wanted him to want something. Anything. Something that wasn't just me. When I told my best friend Savannah that I felt bored, she said, "Girl, you're not bored, you're just not used to peace." That irritated me. She didn't get it. Peace is quiet, sure. But boredom is suffocating. By the second year, I'd started playing these little emotional chess games. If I didn't text him all day, would he notice? If I changed my tone or got distant, would he ask what was wrong? He always did. Always showed up. Always tried. But it wasn't enough. Because what I wanted wasn't effort. It was mystery. It was power. It was proof. So I began pulling away. Slowly. Deliberately. I said I needed space to focus on my career. I picked up extra projects at work. I started staying late, even when I didn't have to. And that's where I met Eli. Eli was everything Ryan wasn't, sarcastic, bold, reckless in a way that made you nervous and excited at the same time. He was the kind of guy who wore leather jackets in July and made fun of corporate rules just loud enough for HR to hear. We never crossed a line. Not technically. But there were long looks. Long lunches. Inside jokes. The kind of energy that lives just under the skin. Meanwhile, Ryan stayed consistent. When I came home exhausted, he rubbed my feet. When I snapped, he apologized even when he didn't do anything wrong. And one night, after a quiet dinner at home, he looked at me with these eyes that made my chest tighten and said, "Would you ever want to marry me?" I didn't answer. I just looked at him and said, "I don't know." He nodded. Didn't press. But that night, while he slept next to me, I stared at the ceiling and felt something terrifying. I didn't want to lose him. But I didn't want to marry him either. And I thought that meant I needed more time. Time to figure out if I was just scared, or if I was settling. But what I really needed was someone else to make the decision for me. Weeks went by. We fell into rhythm again. He stopped bringing it up. I thought I dodged the bullet. Until one Friday, I came home from work and found candles lit. My favorite jazz record playing. And Ryan, standing in the middle of the living room with a tiny black box in his hand. No big speech. No kneeling. Just this quiet, steady, "I love you. Will you marry me?" And I froze. Not because I didn't expect it. I did. I froze because I didn't know what would hurt him more, if the truth, or another lie. So I said the only thing that bought me time. "Can I think about it?" He smiled, but his eyes didn't. He just nodded and put the box on the counter. We didn't talk about it again that night. And somehow, that silence was louder than any argument we'd ever had. That weekend, I stayed out late with Savannah and her boyfriend. I drank too much. Laughed too loud. Tried to pretend like my world wasn't quietly cracking underneath me. When I came home at 2 a.m., Ryan was still awake. He didn't say anything. Just handed me a glass of water and helped me take off my shoes. And then he whispered, "You've already made your decision. You just don't want to admit it yet." That broke me. Because I knew he was right. But I still wasn't ready to say it out loud. I thought if I ignored the proposal, it would disappear. But instead, it started growing roots in everything. His tone changed. Our rhythm faltered. It wasn't just that we stopped laughing, it was that we stopped even trying. I kept telling myself I just needed space, but what I was really doing was running. From commitment. From guilt. From myself. 2 weeks passed, and the ring box sat untouched on the kitchen counter, like a monument to my indecision. He never asked about it again. He didn't need to. The question was still hanging between us like smoke we couldn't wave away. Around that time, Eli and I started spending more time together. Alone. We justified it with work, late edits, urgent strategy meetings, some impossible deadline we invented to keep seeing each other outside of professional hours. We were lying, sure. But mostly to ourselves. I told myself it wasn't emotional cheating if we never touched. If I never kissed him. If I never let him say the thing we both knew he wanted to say. But I started dressing different when I knew I'd see him. I started smiling harder at his jokes. Laughing longer. Looking just a little too long. And then, one night, after a long meeting that ended with wine in his office, I asked him the question I'd never had the courage to ask Ryan. "Do you think people ever really know they're with the right person?" He stared at me, serious for once. And said, "When it's right, you don't have to ask." I went home that night and crawled into bed next to Ryan, still fully dressed, pretending I wasn't crying. He didn't say anything. Just shifted in his sleep, turned toward the wall. That was the moment I realized I'd broken something. Maybe quietly. Maybe slowly. But broken, all the same. The next morning, the ring was gone from the counter. I looked for it, pretending I wasn't panicking. Opened drawers. Checked under things. Nothing. Finally, I found it in the back of his sock drawer, next to a note. 4 words. Written in all caps. Don't worry. I get it. It made me sick. Not because I was relieved, but because I felt something twist inside me, a weird panic. Like I was losing control. Like the game I didn't know I was playing was suddenly over. I tried to act normal. Made pancakes. Sat on the couch with him, legs touching, like we used to. But he wasn't touching back anymore. He was pulling away without moving an inch. That night, when he went out with his friends, I checked his phone. I hate admitting that, but it's true. I was looking for something, anything, to blame this feeling on. But all I found were old texts from me, the kind I hadn't sent in months. Miss you. Hurry home. Can't wait to see you. I'm so lucky. I stared at my own words like they belonged to someone else. Someone I hadn't been in a long time. So I did something reckless. I texted Eli. Me, are you still at the office? Eli, yeah. You okay? Me, I don't want to go home yet. 15 minutes later, I was in his car. We didn't go far. Just parked by the lake downtown. The air was warm, quiet. I told him about the proposal. The silence. The guilt. He listened. Too carefully. Then, he leaned toward me. I think you already know what you want, he said. And I didn't stop him when he kissed me. I didn't stop it when his hands found my face. I didn't stop it when the kiss deepened. I didn't stop anything. But when it was over, I pulled away. Hard. I can't do this, I said, breathless. I can't be that person. Eli looked at me and didn't say anything. Just nodded, like he'd been expecting that answer the whole time. I went home. Ryan wasn't there yet. I washed my face, sat on the floor, and stared at the wall until the front door opened. He came in, smelling like whiskey and wood smoke. He didn't look at me. Did you eat? I asked. He nodded. Took off his jacket. Sat across from me. Then he said the words that made my blood run cold. I saw your messages with Eli. My heart stopped. What? I saw them. The night you left your phone unlocked. You hadn't deleted the earlier ones yet. I opened my mouth to lie. To explain. To spin. But nothing came out. He kept going. Calm. Cold. You didn't have to cheat to betray me. You already did that when you started looking elsewhere for the answers I was begging you to give me. I tried to cry, but the tears felt fake even to me. I didn't sleep with him, I whispered. He smiled. Sad. You don't have to sleep with someone to give them the part of you I thought was mine. I reached for him, but he stood up. Don't, he said. Then he went into the bedroom and shut the door. And I stayed sitting on the floor. Where I belonged. The next morning, the silence between us wasn't heavy anymore. It was final. He didn't kiss me goodbye. Didn't ask if I needed anything. Just grabbed his keys, said I'll be staying at Matt's for a bit, and walked out like I was a stranger he used to know. And maybe I was. I spent the whole day pacing. Texting. Deleting. Rewriting messages I'd never sent. By evening, I cracked. I showed up at Matt's unannounced. Ryan opened the door, saw me, and immediately looked exhausted. I just need 5 minutes, I said. He didn't answer. Just stepped aside. I walked into the apartment like I had a right to be there. Sat down like I still had a place in his life. I told him I was sorry. That I was confused. That I didn't know how to fix us, but I wanted to try. And I'll never forget what he said. You didn't want me. You wanted the version of me you thought you could create. And when I didn't become that, you left. Emotionally, you left a long time ago. I said, that's not fair. He said, no, what's not fair is giving someone just enough love to keep them hoping, while you wait for someone better to come along. That's when I knew it was over. Not because he raised his voice. Not because he stormed out. But because he looked at me like I was just disappointing. Not devastating. Not dangerous. Just sad. A girl who didn't know a good thing when she had it. He didn't ask me to leave, but I left anyway. And I didn't hear from him for months. Not a text. Not a call. Just silence. Until one day, while scrolling through Instagram in bed, I saw it. A photo of Ryan, laughing. His arm around someone new. She had dark curls, soft eyes. She wasn't flashy or loud. She looked kind. The caption? Some people don't waste time once they find the right one. The comments were even worse. His friends calling her a perfect match. Jokes about how this one wouldn't need convincing. I felt physically ill. And that's when the real spiral began. I called Savannah, bawling. She didn't say what I expected. Didn't comfort me. She said, you pushed him away for a maybe. And now he's found someone who doesn't make him guess. It felt like a slap. But it was the truth. So I did what I do best. I tried to take the narrative back. I told our mutual friends that Ryan moved on too fast. That he probably had this new girl waiting the whole time. That it was weird, honestly, how quickly he seemed happy. Some nodded along. Others didn't say anything. That silence was worse than judgment. Because it meant they didn't believe me anymore. I became the cautionary tale. The one who lost a good guy because she couldn't make up her mind. But the worst part? The thing that truly broke me? Ryan stopped needing closure from me. I sent one final message. A paragraph I'd edited and rewritten for hours. One that said I was sorry. That I still loved him. That I'd changed. He read it. I saw the scene notification. But he never replied. Not a word. Instead, a week later, he posted a photo of a house key in her palm. Captioned, home isn't a place. It's a choice. And that's when it hit me. He wasn't mine anymore. Not because she stole him. But because I let him slip through my fingers, while I waited for someone who didn't even exist.